All right, so we've talked about how warming up can help you lower the stakes, lower the bar, be a little bit more comfortable. Let's talk about a few more strategies and specific practical tips to get more comfortable on the camera. Now, there are 4 things I want to talk about here, and the first one is posture. Now, in kind of traditional classical vocal instruction, you will hear voice coaches saying you want to sit upright with your shoulders back and all that kind of stuff, and you want to make sure your resonance or something or other. But when we're talking on camera, again, we're trying to be as not uptight as possible. And so really the objective is to take on whatever posture will actually help you think of the camera as a friend or as a class of students that you might be talking to. Now, the thing that I often find, and I think I got this off of Peter McKinnon, is that I tend to lean forward a little bit. Like if I lean forward like this, I've got my elbows on the table. I usually prefer to have a desk in front of me because it's just more comfortable. And I can just sort of do this. I've got my elbows here. I can just sort of be in this relaxed posture. And my shoulders are probably not in a good position right now. I am hunching over a little bit, but like I don't want to try and sit like this, like a rigid robot. I want to kind of lean forward a bit. I want to sort of rock a little bit. And this is, sometimes Gordon, our videographer, gets a bit annoyed because I rock. And that means my voice sometimes comes like, depending on where the microphone is, it's up here right now. But it doesn't matter. It makes me more comfortable to be able to rock and to be able to act as naturally as possible on the camera, as if I was genuinely kind of leaning across the coffee table from someone and like having a chat with them. Or in this case, the tone I'm taking right now is more of a presentory mode where, let's say I've got a class in front of me and I'm sitting here and I'm just like, all right, guys, so, we're going to talk about stuff. And because I'm fairly casual in my presentation style, this sort of posture is what I default to. But your mileage may vary. Just don't think that you have to adopt a specific posture. Just need to do whatever feels natural in the context of how would I be posture-wise when I'm having coffee with someone. The other tip that's actually really good for this is actually doing something while you're talking to the camera. Now, my friend Sheen, my old housemate Sheen, when she was first speaking to a camera, she found it really helpful to be wrapping up a gift, because she was into wrapping, so she'd be sort of wrapping paper while she was talking. And she found that helped her get over the hurdle of getting confident on camera, because now it's just like, oh, I'm just having a bit of a chat while doing something. Something that Elizabeth does is that she kind of records a podcast while painting. The idea behind that is that it just sort of occupies one part of the mind with something to do, so that the mind is not constantly in overdrive with anxiety and stress and fear about the fact that we're speaking on camera. One thing I like to do, if I find myself that like I'm speaking too fast, I'm getting too agitated, I'll just like grab a cup of tea. And this really helps me get into the coffee chat presenter mode. We're like, hey guys, hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about, pour myself a cup of tea, blah, 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 blah. And we're just going to have a bit of a chat. So, I'm going to talk about the reasons why I left medical school and sometimes we cut the slurp out, sometimes we leave it in, just depending on what we want to do in the edit. But there's something about holding a cup of coffee in my hand that just helps me be a little bit more comfortable on camera, because now there's something else to do. It's like, in a way, I'm focusing on this and I'm not necessarily fully focused on the difficulty of talking to the camera. I'm just like holding something in my hand. So, again, you don't want to fidget, you don't want it to be over the top, but this might be something that you can experiment with if you have something that you can do. This is why I enjoy doing Q&A videos while unboxing stuff. It just occupies the mind with something to do, which is kind of takes pressure, again, takes the pressure off of the situation. Tip number 3 is honestly, sometimes looking good can actually give you that confidence to feel comfortable. I feel really kind of somewhat uncomfortable talking on camera when I haven't had a shower and like done my hair a little bit. Right now, I probably have like flakes of dry skin on my face, but I don't really care. I try not to let those things affect me, but I do find that if I look reasonable and I've looked at myself in the mirror and I think, damn, looking fine. In that context, I tend to be more comfortable and more confident on camera as well. Obviously, you don't want to use this as a reason to procrastinate. You don't have to look absolutely perfect on camera because probably no one cares. But it is a thing that can increase your own confidence. And finally, tip number 4 is to give yourself plenty of time. To be comfortable on camera, you probably don't want to just give yourself 10 minutes to film a video that's going to take 10 minutes to film, because now you're in a frantic mode and you've got this baseline level of anxiety and stress that, oh my God, I need to get this video out on time. That's not an environment that's conducive to getting comfortable on camera. So one thing that we do for videos is we give ourselves the whole day, sometimes to film just 1 or 2 videos. With a course like this, I've given myself more than enough time. We've got all of today to film it, and we've got all of tomorrow to film it as well. We probably won't need to use all that time, but the fact that all that time is there means I can just relax a little bit. I can sit back, I can be a little bit more, I can take my time with it a bit more and be more comfortable. And hopefully that helps with me coming across on camera as well. So if you want to put this into practice, next time you're talking to a camera, try and just do something while you're doing it. Like maybe kind of pour yourself a cup of tea, maybe sip that cup of tea, sip, don't slurp, as my mum always says to me. Maybe do a little painting, maybe do a little origami, maybe do some doodling, do whatever you like that occupies your hands while you're speaking to the camera, and just see what effect that has. It might work for you, it might not, but I found that tip really helpful. Most people I know have found it helpful as well. But yeah, try these tips out and hopefully that'll help you get more comfortable on camera. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next lesson.